Hello everyone and welcome to a new coffee brewing experiment. I'm Memli from Memli Coffee Lab, and today we are going to taste side by side the same coffee brewed in 3 different filters. We will have the Kalita Wave filter, the April coffee filter, and the Sibarist Fast flat bottom filter. Here, I want to follow up on finding the best flat bottom brewing system, and regarding filters, for a long time we always had the Kalita Wave filter. Then April Coffee released their own dripper as well as their own filter, and Sibarist came out with an amazing fast filter as well. The problem of the classic Kalita Wave filter is that sometimes it tends to clog. And here we will taste side by side those coffees, and here we will taste side by side those filters, and in a triangulation, blindly share our experiment and our observation and see which one fits better. Of course, we will need to use different grind size, especially with a fast filter. Therefore, I will do a sort of two match here. The first will be the classic Kalita Wave filter versus the April filter. And we can notice that there's a difference in weight and in size. And the winner from this round will face the Sibarist Fast filter. All right, so for this brew test, I'm going to use our single estate, single variety SL28 washed processed coffee from Guchenda Estate in Kenya. I have prepped and rinsed my paper filters here. As you can see, the Kalita paper filters is kind of above the rim of the this April brewer, and the April filter fits the April brewer. I'm going to use a 15-gram dose for 225 grams of water. So it's a 1:15 ratio. That's often my preferred ratio for flat bottom brewer. For cone shape, I like 1:16. Basically on the cone shape, because you have this clarity, this brightness, adding more water will kind of make it a little bit more balanced. And on a flat bottom brewer, you want to kind of restrict a little bit the ratio to get some of that clarity back. All right. Here we go. Is to taste side by side those two coffees. All right. So for some results here in the end brewing time, both actually clog in the third part of the brew. That's why I break my flat bottom brewers into 3 pours instead of 4, because there's a lot of reduction in the flow rate as we are approaching the end of the extraction. And it's the same for both of it here. Even though it's a little bit faster on the April brewer, it finishes at 3 minutes and 30 seconds versus about 3 minutes and 50 seconds here. So can we tell a difference? Let's see. Here I prepped 6 bowls. The April filter will be marked by a sticker and the other one not. And then we will do a mix. And here, I don't even want to taste it. We're going to go straight into triangulation. Very, very, very close. I almost think that the April filter is just a shorter, or it's a Kalita filter with less material. Maybe that's why it flows faster. I don't really know. It's a little bit slightly flatter on the Kalita Wave filter, but really slight, honestly. Nothing, no change in the texture, no change in the sweetness, the body, the aftertaste, the flavor complexities, the same great coffee. Except that here you have a slightly more pronounced brightness and more liveliness to the coffee. So my conclusion is that my conclusion for this round is, let's just copy it. So my conclusion for this round goes for the April filter. because it's slightly more crisp and brighter and has slightly more complexity. So my conclusion for this round goes for the April filter, even though it's extremely close. Now, would you swipe your classic Kalita filter for the April filters? Honestly, it's not really necessary. You can find you can find a lot of similarities here. All right, to conclude our first round, our Kalita Wave filter is a slightly more, flat, maybe heavier. Therefore, you have less brightness and less complexity in the acidity. On the April filter, you have less material, and here you can see that it flows faster. Therefore, it's a little bit crispier and has more of that acidity intensity. So my vote will be for the April brewer. However, will it justify a change to swipe from the Kalita Wave to the April brewer up? But will it justify a change to swipe your Kalita Wave filter that is widely available for a slightly less available April filter? I don't think so. I think that you can just grind a little bit. I think that you can just grind a little bit coarser, use some different techniques, maybe hotter water to make it flow faster. And you will find something very similar to what I brewed with the April filter. Now I'm gonna clean everything up, and we're gonna do the second round between the April filter and the Sibarist Fast. Back for the second round between the April filter and the Sibarist one. Same thing, 15 grams of coffee, 225 grams of water at 92 degrees. Here at Change Coffee, I'm using our natural Ethiopian coffee from Beko Gotiti. But I'll be using the same technique. 75. And one thing to notice is obviously the grind size. So here I ground my coffee for the Sibarist Fast, one setting or 100 microns finer. On my didding, I'm at 8.75 here and 7.75 for my Fast. Same thing, 40 seconds of bloom, and then a second pour of 75 grams until 150. Now, it goes without saying that those coffees are more expensive. So it goes without saying that those filters are more expensive than the regular Kalita Wave filter. And the idea is like, how much can you tell a difference? We've seen that for the Kalita Wave versus the April filter, there's a difference, but not a lot. A slight difference, yes. And the last pour of 75 grams to 225. 224, that's fine. Here at 1 minute 20, my last pour. There we go. Little jiggle. And we wait. All right, some results right now. There's 1 minute difference between the Sibarist Fast that ended at 2 minutes and 36 and the April filter at 3 minutes and 34 seconds. So you can really tell that there's a difference, that's for sure. Here, we're gonna do the same thing. Let's bring our cupping bowl and do some triangulation. All right, here I can really tell the difference. It was much easier than the previous round. And basically, what you can notice is that the April filter is, really well balanced. You have great coffee, of course, but everything is really all in balance between the texture, the aftertaste, the flavors, the brightness, the sweetness. It's all in balance. But the Sibarist have much more intensity of flavors, much more clarity of flavors. It follows what we found for the cone-shaped comparison, where with the Sibarist Fast filter, you're able to access more aromatics and therefore have a little bit more clarity in the notes. That's why I believe a lot of competitors use the fast filters, because when you call out for notes, it's a little bit easier to taste here. Some berries, orange, vanilla. Very, very clear. Versus on the classic Kalita or the Air Pro, it's a nice cup of coffee. Oh, it's beautiful. Everything is very harmonious. So those two are really up there, definitely. I will go for the Sibarist for this clarity of notes, and because we can still go a little bit finer. Beautiful. Let's clear up and conclude. All right, what can we say here? So in the first round, we compared the classic Kalita Wave filter and the Air Pro filter, and we found a slight advantage for the Air Pro filter, but it wasn't really significant. And that's mostly because it's a smaller filter, I believe, but material-wise, flow-wise, it's kind of the same. And in the extraction yield as well, we found a small difference, but not significant. Now, then we took the Air Pro filter and the Sibarist Fast filter for flat bottom brewers. It is a little bit harder to kind of maneuver to put it on in place, but once you manage to do that, it's really easy. And here we see a huge difference in extraction yield and in TDS. We found a TDS of 1.45 versus 1.36, and therefore an extraction yield of almost 19%. Thank you very much for watching this video. Let us know in the comment which filter do you use and do you prefer. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to your coffee lover friends. And see you next time for more coffee brewing experiments.